back of his mind, he's probably thinking this is going to go because it may feel like it's been representative of the story of his week. Bully for Belly.
Game shot.
Oh, you just knew it was going to go.
Bellmont.
It's another heart sinker for Thomas Junghans.
What he wants to do is get to 14 points, and he can get above Sebastian Bialecki by hitting this, albeit having played one more game.
Game shot.
And on his fourth match start, Bellmont gets the job done. 4-0. It will not make him feel great, but now that he has disposed of Junghans in that first match, he's done himself a lot of favours. He's still in the race for the top spot, but maybe most importantly, based on what we're about to see, he is now firmly in command in the top three. It's the biggest game of Group A when we come back. It's Bialecki against Boulton.
Two players from the proverbial kitchen sink. What's going to give? It could be small margins, like this 12. The treble leaves double 13.
Game shot.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a 12 darter. And these two premier players in the group are giving us quite the tungsten tussle here.
He requires 70.
To the fullest. He's got 6 from 70 for a 3-2 lead and to go within a leg of defeating Boulton. It's going to be a dart at tops. He can come back if he wants.
Game shot on the
Doesn't have to. He leads 3-2 and he's a leg away.
He requires 56.
Give yourself big number doubles. He's already had 4 for the match. He has more.
Game
shots to depose the man at the top. And Sebastian Bialecki is still in the race to win Group A as he beats Andy Boulton. It's the second defeat of the week for Boulton, and both of them have come to the hands of Sebastian Bialecki with an average of, listen to this, 8-8, 8-8. Great as far as Bialecki is concerned. As he beats Boulton, he keeps the race very much alive now for qualification through Group A. Coming up after the break, Lishman makes his bow on Wednesday. He takes on Adam Atkinson after this.
24.
Well, double 12 to almost put Adam out of his misery and to pick up the points for Lishman. Double 12 is found for 13 dart leg. Tommy Lishman just continues to impress at the Super Series. An average of 92.5, 4 out of 5 on the doubles, moves him on to 10 points in the group. A 4-0 win for Lishman.
And the only two results we've had so far today, 4-3 and 4-0. Again, masterful counting.
171.
Great use of the treble 19.
Doesn't have to go the champagne route. Bialecki doesn't have to go all vive cliquet.
92.
He won't.
Sebastian, you require 132.
Or will he? Cheeky little sausage. Leaves tops.
92.
Well, if you're going to leave a double like that, what's the point in going bullseye? You're better off just trying to click a 92 with 80 on the 20s and a big 12, or even getting yourself a big ton.
100.
Till 32.
Sebastian, you require 40.
For a 13 darter, a 5-visit leg to send us to the 7th.
Game shot on the
and to the 7th we go. And once again, Sebastian Bialecki is involved in a big last leg decider. In that 4-2 defeat to Andy Boulton on Monday. Can he finish off by climbing the ladder, which would put him to a tie at the summit of the group? Top rung. Game one and game on in the race for Group A qualification. And Sebastian Bialecki beats Stefan Bellmont by 4 legs to 3, and 2 last leg deciders see Seb in the race for top place. A 97 average, 4 out of 10 on the doubles. He's saved the big performances for the big day on Wednesday. After the break, Adam Atkinson against Thomas Junghans.
Co-holder of the most unwanted record here. He has got himself off the canvas and he's given himself a chance of a win, which will probably feel like a tournament win.
Game shot.
And Thomas Junghans seals the win. And if at first you don't succeed, you try again, and then you get to your end result. And Thomas Junghans picks up the point by beating Adam Atkinson by 4 legs to 2. A man who didn't win a leg in 22 has now won 4 in a game, and that seals the points. An 85.05 average. Maybe something has just been flicked in the switch of Thomas Junghans. Boulton Lishman's coming next.
What happened yesterday? He lost to Sebastian Bialecki.
134, and he required 121.
What did he do after that? He absolutely destroyed Thomas Junghans by 4-0 with a big, big performance.
93. Tommy require 87.
But more than that, after the defeat, he dropped just 3 legs for the rest of the day across 3 matches. But he may concede one here.
Game shot
Double 18 for an 11-dart break
Tommy
to
Lishman.
begin for Tommy Lishman. He just continues to get better.
Yes, he does. And that double
hit. Trouble for tops.
Did he really go for tops first?
60.
I think he
and
did.
he requires 76.
Tell you what, he's bold.
What's better than bold?
Game
Brilliant
shot
is better than bold.
Andy Boulton.
He's at 95 after 12, and he may not even get a go. Oh, this is beautiful.
What?
76.
That's a little bit courageous.
And considering he went ball on ball in the last leg, it would be incredible if he finds the fish. He could find the fish.
134.
He's
and
left himself on double 18.
121.
He's kept it handy. If Boulton cannot take out the 1-2-1, treble 17. The irony, if he finds the bullseye, would be incredible.
88.
But it drags
Tommy
underneath.
required 36.
And so to send us to a decider. Double 18. Boulton's watching on nervously in the background.
No score.
But he's going to come back for the match.
And he required
He's going to come
33.
back to re-establish that 2-point cushion at the top of the table. If he can find double 16 again, it's been his friend all game.
Game,
it's his
shots,
friend now.
and the match.
And Andy Boulton moves on to 20 points. He keeps a hold of that 2-point advantage at the top of the table. But my word, was he made to work for it against Tommy Lishman. An incredible game, full of talking points, full of brilliance, full of drama. But it's Boulton who wins a Brahma. He wins it 4-2.
102.
Been a good leg from Adam. To leave that small 2-darter after 15. I wonder what's in his pocket, though.
Game shot on the second
Whatever
leg.
it is, it belongs to Stefan.
Bellmont.
Because he's just picked it. He doesn't want a big average. Would have had a 95 plus had he hit that double for the match a little bit sooner. 1 dart jumps out the board. 1 misses to the right.
12.
And then 1 misses to the left. And Bellmont gets another
Stefan
look
required 10.
at 2 5s.
Game,
That'll get
shots,
it done.
and the match.
It's still
Stefan
his best
Bellmont.
winning performance of the week. The average is 91.09. The doubles percentage dives at the end, unfortunately, because of all of those mismatched darts. But ultimately, Atkinson will stay at the bottom of the table. Bellmont has bolstered his position 3 with that 4-0 win. We'll be back after the break, and it will be Bialecki and Lishman.
Achieving his career to achieve so much so young. Well, can Lishman hit Bialecki with the finish that he delivered to beat Bellmont? But that first dart is awkward.
Didn't like the single. Love this. Love
Game
it.
shot on the fourth
Absolutely
leg.
brilliant.
Tommy Lishman.
Such a good counter. Great tactician. Didn't want to do anything silly. And what he did was
Fifth
something
leg, Sebastian to
educational
throw first.
for everybody
Game
watching.
on.
He can't believe he's
40.
missed. Sebastian
Game,
is back
shots,
and has
the
won
match.
again.
Sebastian Bialecki.
He's got 3 from 3 today, and he's back on 20 points alongside Andy Boulton. That was a very entertaining game from both players. Tactical brilliance from them both, but ultimately the man with the lesser average. The poll, 90.54 and 44% on the doubles. He's the person who is now touching Andy on the shoulder again. Who comes next against Junghans?
4.
He would love a clean hit.
Game shot on the
Wonderful.
fifth leg. Andy Boulton.
Bit of posturing as well as he circles that shoulder around to get a little bit of fluid into the joints. In Sebastian and Andy, it's not changing. It's like Sebastian is trying to catch Andy, and whenever he does,
80.
Andy looks over his shoulder and just finds another gear.
Double 10.
Game shot
Andy
and
Boulton.
the match.
And he is edging closer towards Saturday night's finale. A 4-2 victory against Thomas Junghans puts him 2 points clear. But perhaps as well, just as importantly, he has a 9-point gap in the legs difference to Sebastian Bialecki. He can maybe touch it now. One more victory may well be enough for Boulton to make it through to Saturday night. He wins 4-2 against Thomas Junghans. After the break, Sebastian Bialecki is out to bat. He takes on Adam Atkinson.
A different end. But the end of this game could be right now.
Game, shot,
way too
and the
good.
Match. Sebastian
An average of
Bialecki.
16 darts a leg, and unfortunately for Adam Atkinson, he just can't live with this standard this week. So tidy, the doubles, 4 out of 6, and when he needed a 4-0 win after 3 very tight wins earlier today, he's found that 4-0 win. Over to you, Andy Boulton. You take on Stefan Bellmont next, and if you get the same result, you're safe. Traditionally, the halfway house has things like sausage rolls and toasties.
Game shot on the second leg. Andy Boulton.
Get your knife and fork out, Andy. Halfway house. Ideal lie here is probably above the 54 or hitting it right there. Double 10.
Game
That
shot
is
on the third
magnificent.
leg. Andy Boulton.
Tricky finish? Not so much.
To double now to do exactly that. He's had the X Factor all week. And he's going to be into Saturday night because Andy Boulton qualified for Saturday night's finale with finesse and with style with a 4-0 win against the highly fancied Stefan Bellmont. Andy Boulton is your first qualifier for Saturday evening's final of the Super Series. He does have an 88.41, and maybe the changing point in that game was that 1-2-8 finish. Bellmont had a couple of opportunities at double, which would have extended the race, would have extended the fight, but it is Boulton, brilliant Boulton, who is the winner in Group A. Next up, Tommy Lishman, Thomas Junghans.
Southampton on the Friday. We started here on the Saturday night with launch night. No matter what happens over the next few years, Tian will always be the first. And Tommy Lishman's the first to get a 170 finish this week. Both of the Swiss players in his sights in the next 4 games.
What was that song? All I want to do is have some fun. Oh, hello! Hello! That bounced down in!
180.
That's a miracle, Max!
Only required 9.
Single 1. Leaves double 4.
5.
And he's caught in Desmondsville.
Thomas requires 71.
Two in his hand at double 16. Now 8s. This is for a break as well.
55.
Doesn't go, and so Lishman is back for those 2 twos for 2 points.
4.
He's missed 5 darts at double in this match. The majority of them in this leg.
Game,
but he hasn't missed that much
and
dart.
the match.
It's
Tommy
a fine
Lishman.
performance from Tommy Lishman, who could still get 6 points from his campaign here on Wednesday. He's brimming with confidence. The average comes down towards the 89 mark, but the definitive highlight of that game, that 170 check out, nobody's going to beat that this week. And Tommy will go to the practice room now and get ready for his final game against Bellmont, which comes in game 15. But before that, we'll have the start of the procession for Andy Boulton as he takes on Atkinson in his final game of Group A after this. It's 60, and he can start fresh tomorrow.
Tops for Boulton. Double 10.
50.
Not this time. Atkinson is back, and he'll try and leave it handy.
If we had a quad board here, he could finish 175. Start with a quad 20 for 80, and then you know how to get 95 with 2 dots.
99.
But this is no quad board.
And he required 10.
Now he's looking for the quad.
Game,
and gets
shot, and the match.
So Andy Boulton will finish this group as the winner and with a brilliant campaign of 26 points. His final performance, it was very solid. He was a couple of legs behind, but he confines Adam Atkinson to a final defeat, and it will be 14 defeats from 15 for him. Without further ado, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, it will be the final match in this group for Thomas Junghans and runner-up Sebastian Bialecki.
Andy Boulton, congratulations. Back here at the Super Series, last time you got right through to the final. You've made a really strong start this time. What were your kind of hopes coming into this one?
Yeah, to be fair, just the same as last time, I think. I just really enjoyed last time, and I came down this, you know, whatever day it was. I've lost track of the days, but yeah, just looking forward to it. Really, it's definitely adds something different to what you're normally used to, and yeah, I just really look forward to everything, and I think the week's gone really well. Yeah.
It has gone well. I mean, last time you were here, you didn't win Group A. You came better towards the end of it. This time you have. We can show you confirmation of that now. Top of the table. Ahead of Sebastian Bialecki now. He kept sort of nipping away at your heels today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. It's like, and I've struggled a little bit with the shoulder today, so I'm quite glad of a couple of days off. Whereas last time I was saying that I'd be glad of a couple of days off, and then when I didn't get them, I think it kind of helped a little bit, playing that little bit more. But yeah, I'm really glad of a couple of days off. He just wouldn't go away today. And I was really conscious with playing in first game that as long as, you know, the scoreline was close, then as long as I did the business in the other games, you know, that I would be all right. But God, he just he was like a really annoying dog, like Bolt.
Well, towards the end of the day, he won a match 4-0, and then you won 4-0 against Stefan Bellmont. Now, that is a match that actually got you through. He couldn't catch you then. But there were some key moments in that match, weren't there? A 1-2-8 finish and getting that big win.
Yeah, the 1-2-8. I knew in my head that a 4-0, I looked really strong. Because, I coming in, although I was 4 points clear, I was 9 legs, I think it was. And so, like I said, as long as I stayed close to him, even if I lost the game to Sebastian. And I think I approached that game wrong, really. I should have just, concentrated on making sure I win 5 out of 5. But yeah, the 1-2-8 was good, and but I look good as well. That's the main thing.
Yeah, nice tan. Paul Nicholson keeps mentioning it. How do you get that in Scotland?
Yeah, it's good Scottish tan. It's like I live near the shore, so take the dog a walk in the morning, and my boy Bailey and that. We just got the proper Scottish tan, and so we're all right. Go on holiday in 2 or 3 weeks, so I can top it up.
A bit of a holiday now, 2 days off before Saturday. Last question, what's the plan now?
I have no idea, because last time I was quite glad, not glad I didn't get through, but yeah, you've got something to do for 2 days, so now I need to find out what the local sites are beyond a chip shop and a kebab house. And yeah, I don't know. I think I struggled quite a bit with my shoulder and that over the years, and so tomorrow definitely I won't for a dart tomorrow. Maybe I'll just have an hour, maybe somewhere on Friday, and hopefully refreshed and vitalised, and just go top up the tan.
Indeed. Well,
maybe
that's the plan, isn't
do.
it? Yeah, sun's in the sky. Do that. Rest up. We'll see you again on Saturday. Well done. A couple more games to come today, and we will get them underway now. Thomas Junghans taking on Sebastian Bialecki, who this man has just stopped from qualifying.
He probably had half of that bed to aim for. I was convinced he was going for the cover shot.
121.
But because of that brilliant 140, he's now got a match-winning chance of 81 after a brilliant approach from Junghans. Bullseye to win.
56.
That could have been his last start of the day.
Thomas requires 16.
Then again, he might need another leg to get the job done.
And Thomas Junghans may just be slowly calling his way back into the game.
Thomas Junghans.
He might just slowly but surely, when he thought that Sebastian Bialecki was leaving him in the dust.
It's not really a surprise. He's got one of 3 ton-plus averages so far in this group. And plan A today of leaving tops has worked a treat, because he's Mr. Perfect for the day, and he will bolt his way into Group B over the next couple of nights. So get yourself a nice earned rest there, Sebastian. It's a great campaign for Wednesday. But as for Thomas Junghans, a defeat by 4 legs to 2 means that we will see him from 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as we wipe the slate clean for Group C. Speaking of Group C, you're going to see Tommy Lishman and Stefan Bellmont in Group C as far as Tommy's concerned. Stefan in Group B over the next couple of days, but they've got one more match left, and it's coming right up.
Tommy for 3-0.
Never
in doubt, was it? Lishman's a leg away from finishing off his Group A campaign with a commanding and comprehensive victory against Stefan Bellmont. You wouldn't put it past him. Not at all.
117.
Just grazes the double 8.
Tommy required 5.
And so Lishman is going to get 2 more. A double 2.
Game,
only
shot,
needs the 1
and the match.
to round off
Tommy
a 4-0
Lishman.
success and to get the better of Stefan Bellmont to 0. And Tommy Lishman, the way he's been playing today, is going to be a real perennial contender when it comes to Group C on Thursday and Friday respectively. He has put in some powerful performances, maybe not always got the points, but he is going to be in the reckoning over the next couple of days. He rounds off with a 4-0 win, an 87.13 average and 33% when it came to the finishing. And so Lishman is the final victor in Group A. Andy Boulton was the man at the top of the table. And to analyse all of that, let's head up to the balcony now, where Paul Nicholson is in the company of Chris Murphy.
Thanks, Henry. Yeah, what a way to finish the show. A week that's been all about the X Factor. But Tommy Lishman's got a bit of X Factor about himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I've really enjoyed watching him play. And to be honest with you, Murph, I'm really looking forward to watching him the next 2 days. I think Group C has got a real problem with him.
But it is Andy Boulton who has qualified. He's made it through. And look, as he said before, Sebastian Bialecki gave him a little bit of a run, but he's just strutted stuff, hasn't he, all throughout this group.
Experience tells sometimes when you are constantly asked questions. And you think about some of these finishes that he's done this week. That was enormous, that 109. But 109 has been following him all week long. And he's found the answers. And he talked about the 128 that you're just going to see here. You get that 54. You need to get another one for a shot. But look at what Stefan's got. He's got 16. There's pressure on these shots, and he's up to it every time. He knows exactly where he stands, and every time he's asked that question, he just knows how to get there.
And he knew he had to win this match to win it 4-0 to qualify at that point, to avoid it going down to the last round of matches. He did that. We will get confirmation of that group. Andy Boulton, of course, top of it. He was just an immovable object, wasn't he, in the end?
When you get to the number 1 spot, you don't want to be displaced. It's a bit like Bryan Adams with that song he had in the early 90s. It felt like it was going to be there forever. But Bialecki with a brilliant campaign. If you look at 24 points and plus 19, that would have won probably 75 to 90% of the groups that he's played in, every time he's come here. But this time, he's got the experienced winner of Group A again.
Yeah, and it's no guarantee that you'll get through to finals like we've seen. Other players have brilliant Group A campaigns and not make it. And Sebastian Bialecki still needs to go and do his work when he goes into Group B. In fact, we'll take a look at the groups for the rest of the week. Bialecki in Group B, along with, Stefan Bellmont, Paul Hogan, Owen Bates and Alexander Merckx.
I've just said in commentary that I'm not sure I can pick 3 names out of that 5. That is a great group to watch over the next couple of nights. I think maybe in Group C, from what we've seen this week already, that there are some strong horses and maybe some people that will have to up their game, particularly Adam and maybe Thomas. But we have seen encouraging signs from him today. But that Group B is absolutely insatiable.
Yeah, also some stature in Group C, though. Scott Mitchell, a former world champion, coming in. Josh Richardson, he's done great things. World youth champion. James Hurrell, England captain. So for those players who've had a tough time here, they do reset to 0, but they've got to try and shed the baggage.
Absolutely. You look at Hurrell and you look at Mitchell, and they will come in as favourites because of their experience and what they've done over the last few years. But don't discount anybody else from getting themselves into a position for qualification, because everybody's got the same slate now. They've used the first 3 days to get themselves sharp. Their confidence might be dented a little bit, but at least they might be a little bit sharper than the people coming in cold.
Final question on this group. Well, it's more of a look ahead to Saturday. Boulton, last time he was here, didn't actually win Group A. Lost in the final on Saturday. He's now won Group A. From what you've seen, do you think he's going to go and win it this week?
I think it depends on how that shoulder feels come Saturday. I'm sure he'll be fine. But the level he's shown all week long, it's very reminiscent of what we saw from Christian Kist a couple of weeks ago. And Christian got really close, but ultimately lost to Osborne. I'd like to think that Andy will get through, because I think with his experience and his really good form in 2023, it'd be a nice step forward, just like Barry Van Peer from last week, for him to get through to Champions Week. So I think he can do it.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a great Champions Week. We've got 5 more sessions to bring you, including 2 tomorrow here at the Super Series. 1 p.m. start on the YouTube channel, 3 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV, and then again on both platforms for the 10 p.m. Group B start. But in terms of Group A, well, for the X Factor, his Saturday night started right here.